For many fans, Star Wars is a story best told on the silver screen, with the epic lightsaber duels, space battles, and the eternal clash between the Jedi and the Sith. But over the past 2 decades, the franchise has been evolving, expanding its universe through television. And in doing so, it delivered what might be the most emotionally brutal and haunting moment in the entire saga, one that most movie-only fans never witnessed. That moment occurred in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, an animated series once dismissed as a kid show, but now revered by hardcore fans for its maturity, depth, and narrative brilliance. Now, 12 years after it aired, that moment still stands as the franchise's most heart-wrenching sequence, and it's not in any of the movies. Obi-Wan's tragic love story unfolds. Throughout the Clone Wars, viewers are given a deeper understanding of the galaxy's descent into chaos and, more importantly, a closer look at characters long confined to the periphery of movie plots. Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is always the noble Jedi Master, is given surprising emotional complexity. That includes his past relationship with Duchess Satine Kryze of Mandalore, a political leader who advocated for pacifism in a time of galactic war. Through multiple episodes, it's subtly implied that Obi-Wan once loved Satine, so much so that he even considered leaving the Jedi Order for her. Their dynamic is understated but powerful, offering a different kind of tension rarely explored in the movies. Enter Darth Maul, and the saga's most brutal act. Darth Maul, thought dead after the Phantom Menace, returns in the Clone Wars as a more vengeful and calculating version of the Horned Warrior we saw in Episode 1. His grudge against Obi-Wan hasn't diminished. After building a criminal empire and seizing power on Mandalore, Maul lures Obi-Wan into a trap. The result? A gut-wrenching moment when Maul murders Satine in cold blood, right in front of Obi-Wan. The emotional weight of the scene is staggering. Satine, dying in Obi-Wan's arms, confesses her love with her final breath. Obi-Wan, visibly shattered but true to his Jedi teachings, doesn't lash out in anger. He doesn't give Maul the satisfaction. Instead, he absorbs the pain, a moment of tragic restraint that's arguably more devastating than any death scene in the Skywalker saga. A cartoon that did what the movies couldn't. This moment was not just dark for the sake of being edgy. It represented the depths of the Clone Wars and the cost of following the Jedi path. The Clone Wars succeeded in showing the emotional toll of war, loyalty, and loss in ways the prequel films often rushed through or ignored entirely. The show gave fans a Maul more terrifying than ever before, a villain driven not just by anger, but by purpose. It gave Obi-Wan the vulnerability of a man who has sacrificed everything. And it gave us Satine Kryze, a powerful figure of peace, whose death symbolized the collapse of hope and diplomacy in a galaxy spiraling toward tyranny. The legacy of the Clone Wars era. For fans who only follow the Star Wars films, this storyline might seem obscure. But for those who took the time to dive into the Clone Wars, it's clear that the most meaningful developments in the galaxy didn't happen in theaters. They happened on the small screen, often in animated form. Even Star Wars, Rebels followed up on the fallout of Satine's death, showing Maul and Kenobi meeting for one final confrontation in the desert sands of Tatooine. Their rivalry ends not with a roaring battle, but a short, graceful duel, a quiet, tragic finale to a story rooted in pain, love, and vengeance. Conclusion: the hidden heart of Star Wars lies in animation. The beauty of the Clone Wars isn't just in the lightsaber battles or galactic intrigue. It's in the quiet heartbreak, the layered character arcs, and the exploration of what it means to be a Jedi in a time of moral collapse. Satine's death may not be as famous as Order 66 or the destruction of Alderaan, but it is the moment that stripped away the myth and showed us the man beneath Obi-Wan's robes. For many fans, it's the most brutal and most unforgettable moment in all of Star Wars.